Okay, this reading is about a challenge, so let's go ahead and get into it and take a deep breath together. And I just ask that we're grounded, present, and open to receive messages. I kind of felt like, it's like, is this getting the best of me? Is this challenge getting the best of me? Maybe that's something that you're conscious of right now, or that you're needing to be conscious of. So let's go ahead and get into it. What is this challenge that you're facing? The Strength, Queen of Wands, confidence, straight up confidence. It's like one thing, you're kind of like, you're hearing things, and they're great things. You could be doing a good job, you could be looking good, you could be saying great things, you could be making a lot of people feel connected and strong. I got the Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Like, you're brave, you have the power to be a leader, and for some reason maybe there's the thoughts of like, you just don't believe it. You feel like a fraud, like you're not supposed to be there, or maybe that you are supposed to be there, but you just don't feel like you've done the work to deserve it. And so the challenge that you're facing is just being able to accept this upgrade, this newness that you've created, and also to go after the things that you want to continue to bring into your life. So why is this challenge coming up for you right now? Wheel of Fortune, Strength card again. You've been here before. You've been here plenty of times before. You could be creative. You could be going through a spiritual awakening that is showing you parts of yourself, and like, just playing things back, like, and making the connections, and understanding why certain things had to happen, certain things that maybe you did that didn't feel like an alignment. Like, it's like, oh, maybe it's like what you were putting out, you knew the way that it was going to come back. It was going to come back to bite you eventually. You didn't know how. And I think it's just kind of this, is that like, you're doubting yourself, and the way to move out of it seems like you're just needing to trust yourself, trust the process, and trust that you can heal anything that you might have, made a mistake for in the past. It's really just being a little bit easier on yourself. And the Strength card really is showing up here in an interesting manner, because I would look at where Leo is in your astrological chart, and how it's interacting with Pluto being in Aquarius right now. They're opposing, and so I don't think astrologically there's a lot going on in the sign of Leo. If anything, that could be popping out. So I really feel like it's how this energy is kind of coming unearthed and needing more attention. And as you move through Pluto being in Aquarius, it's how you can use that energy in Aquarius that's going through the death and rebirth cycle to continue to trust your process. Yeah, let's see, why is Strength coming up? Let's just get clarification for that. Eight of Wands, the Moon, and Seven of Cups. Because you could have a lot of people pulling you in different directions. When I think about, Aquarius, we connect to community, and with Leo, you have this loyalty and devotion, and I think what it's saying is that continue to be loyal to yourself. Hold yourself in high regard, because you could have a lot of people, because you are exuding this confidence, coming at you. It's just because, sometimes people that are conventionally attractive, right? don't necessarily have the best relationships, not because they don't have people coming at them. It's just because everybody wants a piece, and everybody just wants to say, I had a piece. You know, you could be a celebrity, right? And everybody just wants to even touch you, be in your energy. You could have that sort of celebrity aura where you turn heads and you catch attention, and people will come your way. But it's for you to discern and process what is really their intentions, what emotions do they actually have towards you, because it could feel like a lot of interference in a sense. And how do you come together with the right people? You trust this tribal instinct that's inside of you that says, this person is a part of my purpose. They want to create with me. They're not here to take and just say like, oh, I had a piece of that, or I was a part of their life, or I did this, just to lay some sort of claim, because the what you're building right now is noteworthy, and it's all a part of this long process that you have. It's a part of who you are, your being, and this vision that you've had for yourself that you hold so closely to your heart. And when you start expressing it, and when you start seeing it, even if it's not necessarily coming out in words, right, the ways that you're attracting people is for them. But that doesn't mean that you need to give any more of your energy, because you're already giving so much by just being. So finding out how you need to direct that, and trusting that your strength, your confidence is for you to keep that loyalty to yourself. I can almost feel you getting more charged up, and like just really kind of seeing like, yeah, like all like just how quickly you can see, even hearing somebody's voice, their mannerisms, their micro expressions, right? Like knowing somebody's intentions so strongly that you can cut people out and move on, and it's no problem. So it's using what you've learned there, and keeping that momentum, keeping that energy going. So how can you help yourself with this challenge? The World card, Ace of Wands, Seven of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You may not have like everything written out. You may not see all your goals, your 5-year plan, your 2-year plan. You may not even know what you're gonna have for dinner tonight. But like what the world and the Ace of Wands is telling you is that this chapter, you know, this chapter is closing. This one where you've given away yourself because you're a lover, because you want, you know, the best. You see the potential, and you know there's constantly that narrative of being able to see the potential in somebody and sticking around, but your potential is the one that's screaming at you. Your path is saying, we gotta get rid of this stuff. It's a continuance of purging as we shed, right? The year of the snake, we're coming out of it. We're gonna be moving into you know, I'm not a Chinese astrologer. I don't know much about it, so I don't want to get too deep, but just symbolically looking at a snake and how it's able to regenerate itself and shed, and while it's still its snake self, it's still who it was, there's newness about it. It's fresh. It's a new start. And there's so much here, I feel like, just looking at the World card, about time, like ancestors, the people in your life, all the sacrifices that you've made, truly just filling into who you are and how private and sovereign this new relationship that you're forming with yourself. I don't think you're necessarily talking about it with anybody, because a part of your process and a part of like refining your skill about knowing who's around you and who wants to be there for you is looking for their cues that you've been hearing in your own head. This is more of an observer state of being, as opposed to taking action and speaking and doing now, because sometimes, like, it's not that you're not ready to move forward and create and speak. You're so careful, right? This is like just how you can be present in your moment, in yourself, because this is like the way that this cycle is ending, this chapter in your life. It's like you're watching the stars, like an asteroid, whatever it's called, like, you know, a bunch of shooting stars go by in the night sky, and it's so clear, and you're just appreciating the beauty of the past, really honoring it, and like, holy, just as I started to just like lean into it, just feeling all the emotion come up of just gratitude and pain, and knowing that you've done so much to be here, and you absolutely deserve it. And on that note, I just want to close this out, because the challenge is just needing to give yourself that extra reassurance, that extra hype, that boost where you pump yourself up and you're just ready, and you're looking at yourself and you know, like, that I don't even know how to express it. I hope that was just enough, like, that you can just feel and into yourself, and just taking this moment to really be your biggest supporter, your biggest fan. The things that you're creating, you're loving it. If you're making music, it's like you're able to just listen to it on repeat, because it's something that you know is so important, not just for you, but the most important part is that it is for you, and that as you share whatever you're creating, its vibration is just so beautiful and light. And I'm so excited for you. I hope that maybe you want to share with me, because I want to know what you're getting into, because I think it feels beautiful. So again, yeah, let's just close out this reading. The Moon, 9 of Cups, Hierophant. It still feels so sacred to you, but it's lighting you up. With the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck, I do feel like it's how, for the next few months, I have to look at, and maybe you can yourself, when Uranus will go back into Gemini, because as we're closing out this Uranus and Taurus cycle, right, and we've paid a lot of respect to our past and all the different ways that things came up that were totally unexpected and shook up our world. I don't think you're necessarily having any more shakeups. It's how those earthquakes that you move through. Here in the Pacific Northwest, it's kind of funny, some weather terms that I've heard in the last few years that I never heard before was like bomb cyclone. We had a bomb cyclone last year. It was heavy winds, lots of downed trees, power was out for weeks at a time for people. And, you know, now we're having like atmospheric rivers, right? And it rains a lot here already, but it's not like a heavy rain. It's a mist, it's a light kind of rain, and I'm losing my focus. But the point is is that I don't know, I think I lost the point. I hope you were tracking on that. But with the weather, right, the new terms that are coming up, really feeling into, I'm just gonna pull a card to help me get back on track. High Priestess. It's interesting when these two cards come up together, because it's how personal, how deeply intuitive and trusting the process this is all about. I think what I was saying before is that, when my bringing up the weather, was that, like, you know, the way that this time frame that we experience Uranus Taurus for yourself, uh, those aren't going to repeat, right? You can move on and know that those things are closing out, because if you're here right now, you've done that work, and now you're seeing, with this energy, you're seeing why those things happened. You're seeing why you had to make certain sacrifices. You're seeing why you had to move across the country, or you're seeing why you had this loss. And it's not a reflection of you and your character. It's just the world around you and how things happened, and what you've made out of it is beautiful. So just lift your heart up, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Much love.